Hello everyone, welcome back to Mr. Y's Community Development Channel for another edition of Mr. Y's videos. This one we'll be talking again, we've been talking this week about emergencies and things that aren't emergencies. And today we're going to do a little activity. I'm going to read through these. You have a little packet about what's an emergency and what's not. What's something that you would have to call 911 or what's something that you can take care of yourself or something that's not really an emergency. So look through these pictures and talk with your family about it and decide which is an emergency and which isn't. We're going to go through each one and you guys can talk about it and decide emergency or not an emergency. So the first page here, this one here says your neighbor's house is on fire. Flames are coming out of the windows. So if there's a fire, is that an emergency or not an emergency? Circle which one you think it is. Another one, a bee is flying around your head. Is that an emergency or is that not an emergency? Do you have to call 911 for that or can you just take care of that yourself? This one, you woke up late. You missed the school bus and now your mom needs to drive you. That could feel like an emergency, but do you have to call 911 for that? Is that a real emergency or is that just something that you need to deal with on your own? So decide, emergency or not. This one, a bee stings your brother. He is allergic and starts coughing and itching. Is that an emergency or not? Do you need to call 911? Is somebody's life in danger? Emergency or not an emergency? On the back side, here we have the house across from your school is doing construction and knocking down some walls. Do you have to call 911 for that? Think about it. Emergency or not an emergency? Another one, your pet goldfish died last night. That's sad. But is it an emergency? Do you need to call somebody, call 911? Emergency or not? Think about it. Write down your answer. Your camera fell out of your backpack and broke. Uh-oh, that's not good. But is it an emergency? Emergency? Do you need to call somebody? Or can you handle that yourself? The next one. You're playing football and fell down trying to catch the ball. Your ankle is swollen and all red. It hurts really bad. Is that an emergency or is that not an emergency? Think about it. Should you call 911 or no? Emergency or not? The next page. You have this picture of the little boy on the front of it, right here. Your sister took the iPad and won't give it back. Uh-oh. Is that an emergency or not an emergency? Is that something you can handle or do you need to call somebody? Next one. You're swimming in a lake and see a child who can't swim. The child is splashing and yelling for help. Should you call somebody? Should you call 911? Or can you handle that on your own? What can you do? Think about it, talk about it, and put your answer down. Here, your dad is working outside and accidentally hits his finger with a hammer. His finger is bleeding. You might hear some words that you usually don't hear if that happens, but is that an emergency or not an emergency? Make your choice. Do you call 911 or can you handle that on your own? The next one, this little girl has a bad stomach ache and feels like she might throw up. Emergency or not? Can you handle that on your own or should you call 911? On the back side, I think everybody can relate to this. You are so hungry and really want pizza. How many of you love pizza? I do. But is that an emergency if you don't have pizza? Should you call 911 or can you maybe call somebody else, like the pizza delivery man? What would it be, emergency or not an emergency? The next one. Oh, you ate too many chocolates and now your stomach hurts. That's happened to me before. Is it an emergency or not an emergency? What do you think? Talk about it and put your answer down. This one. Someone pushed down your mom and stole her wallet and money. Uh-oh. Is that an emergency or not an emergency? Should you call somebody? Should you call for the police or can you handle that on your own? Which would be the smarter thing to do? The next one. Your friend did not recycle his newspaper and threw it in the garbage. That's not a good thing to do. But is that an emergency or not an emergency? What do you think? And then the last page, right here. Got the fire truck on the top here. You have the doctor here. Your friend is jumping on a trampoline. She falls off and is hurt. She can't get up. Should you call for help? Or is that something you can help on your own? What should you do? Which do you think is the better choice? What do you think we should do? The next one. There's smoke coming out of a classroom. You hear fire trucks. Is that an emergency or not an emergency? What do you think? Make your choice. And then the last two. While your family was on vacation, someone broke into your house and stole your TV and your iPad. Uh-oh. Is that an emergency? Should you call for help? Should you call somebody? Or not an emergency? What do you think? And then here, you are lost. Your mom asks a police officer for directions. Is that an emergency if somebody in your family is lost and you can't be found? Or is that something that you can handle on your own? What do you think? So that's what I want you to do. You and your family, I want you to sit and go through each one of these and talk about are they an emergency or not an emergency? What should you do? What should your reaction be for each of those scenarios? Should you call 911 or can you handle it on your own? So I want you to do that with your family today and keep working hard. I miss you guys. I'll see you guys soon, I hope, and have a good day.